Yo, welcome back to another episode of the High Value Agent Podcast, where we inspire people to create a better life through real estate. I want to talk about three key focuses to instant success in today's market. Now, instant success does not mean easy. Let's make sure that we are extremely clear here. It doesn't mean easy, it means instant clarity and instant execution. Okay. So I want you to get your pen out, take notes, and this is going to be one you want to come back to and revisit. Okay. So before we get into the three key points, I want you to know something that's very, very critical to this message. We have multiple people within our organization that are several pending. As a matter of fact, we have a guy who um, just hit 11 pending. Like currently, he has 11 open escrows, right? 11 pendings. And we have several more who are bringing in 10, 15, $20,000 a month in income based on what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm sharing something with you that is not theory, but it's proven. It's proven because there are people literally within our organization that are applying these key things, this message, and are winning. Okay. Now, the caveat is you got to constantly apply it. So you may be winning right now. The question is after you apply it, if you do you want to sustain those wins? Okay. So again, this is something that you revisit, that you come back to over and over and over again. All right, let's get right into it. So number one, you have to obsess over conversations. You have to obsess over conversations. And what I mean is actually talking to people. How many real estate conversations can you have per day? Here's the reality, and this is a writer downer. The market doesn't determine how successful you will be. The amount of your conversations do. Okay. And at the end of the day, if you haven't done your research, the average agent nationwide is selling maybe 5 to 8 homes a year, eight being on the high side for sure. And simply it's because they're not talking to enough people. They're not talking to enough people. Conversations are the number one leading indicator of your income, period. If you're not having conversations, then you don't have a pipeline. No conversations equals no pipeline. No pipeline equals no equals an emotional roller coaster. And then any emotional roller coaster is going to equal inconsistent income. And then typically the next step is removal from the business. Not because the agent wanted to be removed, right? But the business removed them from the business because they didn't have the discipline to have the conversations consistently. So a big focus is stop worrying about market conditions. Don't worry about interest rates, whether they're going up or down. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about what other agents are doing. Focus on 15 to 20 real estate conversations per day if you do not have a pipeline that's going to feed you over the next 90 days. Okay. And let me unpack that a little more. So, a pipeline, if you have, let's say, 30 leads in your 90-day pipeline. So these are people that told you their time frame is to transact in real estate within 0 to 90 days. If you don't have at least 30 of those people in that 90-day pipeline, then your pipeline is going to be very bleak. Because at 30 real authentic leads in that 90-day window is going to feed you approximately 6 deals over the next 90 days, just based on data that I know. Okay. Because we track stuff like this on our team, right? And it could be different because this is based on our team, but I track this so I can have these conversations with my team. If you have 30 people, you can expect it to do 6 deals over the next 90 days. Now, if you don't even know how many people you have in your 90-day pipeline, well, there you go. We got to do an audit on your database. And if you don't have a database, well, there we go. We got to get a database. We got to get some technology where we can put people's names, phone numbers, and emails and follow a process so we can constantly build relationships with those people. So if you're not there, if you don't have at least 30, we need to have 15 to 20 real estate conversations per day. That's to shorten the time frame of you not having a pipeline. Okay. In that same process, you got to make sure that you are touching or reaching out to or communicating with everyone in your database. Start there. Start there. Reach out to every single person in your database. Okay. And then when you're reaching out to people, you need to have empathy in the conversations. You're reaching out, these people have things going on in their life, right? They're busy, busy. And most people that you talk to, probably over 95%, they're not going to be in any type of situation to consider buying real estate or selling. It's just not the way it works. So when you're talking to these people, how can you express empathy? How can you be understanding as something as someone of value to help them over the time frame of them, potentially making their decision and want to do something? How can you be their go-to? You do it by adding value, having empathy, okay, building a relationship with those people. Got it? You don't need a better market. You need more conversations, period. Period. So have the mindset to go hunt, go execute, right? Go make it happen. In your database, make a commitment that you're going to talk to 15 to 20 people per day. Okay. And if you need leads, because maybe you're in a situation where you don't have leads, hey, we got to do some open houses. We got to do some cold calls, maybe we got to go door knock, circle prospect. We got to call some for sale by owners. The easiest approach, if I were you, is open houses. Like, just if you want to get instant like lead opportunities and you're face to face with these people, man, do two, maybe three open houses a week. And while you're sitting at the open house, you can still be making your calls, assuming nobody comes through. Every minute of the time you're doing it, right? And here's the cool thing: if you got a vacant listing, or somebody who has a vacant listing, ask them if you can host an open house at the vacant listing. You can sit the open house all day. Like, you can be in there all day. You can go from 10 to 3. You could go from 11 to 4, 11 to 5, 12 to 5, 12 to 6. You can sit there. And so when people come through, you're having one-on-one conversations with them, belly to belly. And if it's quiet, nobody's coming through, guess what? You can make your calls. This is what success is. Like, your success will become instant the moment you decide to measure and own this daily routine. Okay. So that's number one. You got to have conversations. You got to talk to people, period. Period. That's the number one indicator. Number two, I just gave you a process, right? Like, you up to this point, if you're really struggling, you've probably been freelancing your entire career. And a what I'm going to give you is a proven process. Here's the thing. I need you to attach to the proven process. I don't want you tweaking it. Some people think they can tweak their way to mastery. No, don't be a tweaker. Attach to the process, not the outcome, but attach to doing the thing every single day, every day. But Antoine, am I going to ever have an off day? Yeah. Like, maybe you only work 5 days a week, maybe, which I don't recommend. If your pipeline is not where it needs to be, you should be at least committing to 6 days a week, bare minimum. And so every designed work day attached to doing the thing. Okay. I'm here to tell you, any high performer that they did not reinvent the wheel. They just run the play. They run the play every day. They don't care about the market. The market here's the thing. Could your business be affected by the market? It could. It could. The market will reward consistency. Period. But no, we want to get creative. Well, the market is not going to reward creativity. The market will reward consistency. And so I see this all the time. Agents will sabotage themselves by changing the script, um, knowing the follow up system, but not using it, not doing it, or avoiding the uncomfortable calls, the uncomfortable reps, right? And so you don't get better at shooting a basketball by changing your form every week, right? Like you don't become a better quarterback and having increasing the accuracy of your arm by changing up your moving pattern every single week. You get better by repping the same mechanics every single day. So you got to be committed to the process. Here's my question for you. Are you committed to the process? Are you committed to the process? Or are you going to be committed to your feelings? Period. I think of Steph Curry. Man, Steph Curry, greatest shooter of all time. I can tell you one thing, he's not switching up his form every single day. And coming up when he was going through the process of being more consistent, right? Because the work never stops. Every single day he's putting up 500 makes. If it's an off season, he's probably putting up more than that. The same thing every single time. And here's the cool thing. Steph Curry or the top producer in your market, if it works for them and you won't follow that proven process, I'm here to tell you, your problem isn't the process. The problem is in the mirror. Your success, and we could talk about it being instant, right? Because I said three key focuses to instant success. That happens when resistance dies and discipline wins. You cannot resist following the process. Okay. And then number three, control your identity, not the market. Who you are, your identity, how you see yourself is going to determine your income. Think about it, like in today's market, weak agents get exposed every single day. Emotional agents get exposed every single day and they disappear. Professionals, the people who identify as a professional, they rise to the top. So you don't rise to the market, you fall to your standards, how you identify, who you identify as. So you're either going to be like um you're going to be either like a thermometer where you're reacting to the conditions, or you're going to be a thermostat that's setting the temperature. Hope that landed. So when we are talking about, again, controlling your identity, not the market, here's what I want you to think of yourself as. You are a high value agent. You're an agent who leads with empathy. You follow up like a professional. You regulate your emotions. You're in this because you understand this is a marathon, not a sprint. You're playing a long game. And you're obsessed with making sure your 90-day pipeline is built. Okay. You are making sure you never go below your threshold, your minimum number of people that you need to have your 90-day pipeline. Figure out what that is for you. You're obsessed with building that. Okay. So if you are currently, right now, if you're stressed, if you're currently stressed today, it's because you didn't work 90 days ago. This is a 90-day business and it's a contact sport. So if you're currently right now feeling stressed, it's because 90 days ago, you weren't showing up, doing the thing, having the conversations, building your pipeline. You weren't doing that. So instant success, you got to detach from the results, attach to your new standards in the process. Okay. This is not magic, y'all. It's about taking responsibility. It's about ownership. It's about and ownership, right? The awareness you have now. Now it's time to take ownership. Like, okay, I control my destiny. I know what I need to do now. More conversations, relentless commitment to the process, having an unshakable identity, being very clear on who you are, right? And the person you need to become, and realizing that it doesn't matter what the market is not the obstacle. Your brokerage, the client, whoop, just knocked my water over. The client, whoever you want to point the finger to, that is not your obstacle. It's literally the mirror. Your inconsistency is the obstacle. So you need to decide who you are, execute every single day, and then stack the wins. And if you do those three things, instant, instant success. Period. And here's a beautiful part. Nobody can ever take that away from you. And you can literally be picked up, taken 500 miles east or west, be dropped in a new market, and apply this these three key focuses. And just like that, you'll start getting wins. That's the beautiful part because now you've developed a new skill based on who you are, who you identify yourself as, and understanding the process, and you're attached to it. Okay. All right. I want to put a bow on this one. Appreciate you taking the time. This is again one you take notes on, you come back to, you revisit time and time again, time and time again. If there's anything that I can do further to help you, don't be shy. Reach out to me. I'm on social media. Comment, subscribe, like. I want to make sure you're being notified. I mean, um, put the notifications on whenever the podcast hits. That way, you're not missing them. You're being able to get them real time. But again, my commitment is always to serve and provide as much clarity as possible to build you up to become a high value agent. And the reality is, I look to my left and I look to my right every single day, and I see people living and breathing this stuff. So, again, this is not theory. This is truly deployable action steps that if you apply it today, by the next episode, by the next time the episode comes out, you'll have some wins. You did great. Be strong up there. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.